Sometimes, respect speaks for itself. Recently, the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame made it official. For the first time, Stephen Curry is getting his own limited-time exhibit. The exhibit is called Stephen Curry, Beyond the Arc. This marks the first time in the Hall of Fame's nearly 75-year history that it has created a dedicated exhibit for an active player. If LeBron has more individual accolades, why was Curry, not LeBron, the first active player to receive his own dedicated exhibit at the Hall of Fame? First of all, everyone needs to understand one thing. A special Hall of Fame exhibit is a curatorial choice about how the museum wants to present a player's broader legacy. It is not a simple ranking of all-time greatness. As for why Curry became the first active player to receive this treatment, let's break it down into several points. First, a revolutionary shift in how basketball is played. One player reshaped the way basketball is played. This is undoubtedly the most important point. Before Curry's rise, basketball was still dominated by size. Size ruled everything. The three-point shot was only seen as a secondary weapon. In most defensive systems, it carried far less weight than it does today. Shooters were even labeled soft. But as Curry rose from star to MVP, the three-point shot did not just become the defining weapon of the era. It became an essential weapon for every team trying to stretch the floor. Even today, no matter how gifted a player may be physically, if he cannot shoot reliably, it becomes increasingly difficult for him to stay on the floor. You could say three-point shooting has become one of the most valuable skills for staying on the floor in today's NBA. In roster building, teams no longer prioritize lumbering traditional centers the way they once did. Instead, they look for versatile forwards who can space the floor and quick guards who can defend at the point of attack. This changed the league's roster-building logic from the ground up. It forced defenses to extend well beyond the three-point line. It completely changed the geometry of the floor. Traditional immobile centers were quickly pushed to the margins because of it. And this does not even account for the faster pace and the explosion of spacing-driven schemes that came with the small ball era. As the Hall of Fame itself said, Stephen has not only redefined how the game of basketball is played, but he has also set a blueprint for what it means to be an exemplary role model. That change was not a small adjustment. It rewired basketball from the ground up. LeBron, on the other hand, is unquestionably one of the greatest players ever, but his game is still built around traditional basketball advantages. It did not reshape the sport around a completely new style of play. His point-forward playmaking and LeBron plus shooters formula are essentially modern evolutions of ideas seen with Magic Johnson. The league did not reorganize its offensive geometry around LeBron's style to the same degree. Second, a one-of-a-kind underdog story that inspired people from all walks of life. From the beginning of the draft process, Curry was widely underestimated. He spent years dealing with ankle injuries, yet with a slighter frame, he broke the idea that basketball dominance had to be built purely on overwhelming physical gifts. Step by step, Steph went from an overlooked prospect to a two-time MVP. His story went beyond basketball and became a symbol for people fighting against the odds. Countless young players, recreational hoopers, and aspiring athletes were drawn to the game because of Curry. He helped expand basketball's audience. LeBron has once-in-a-generation physical gifts. He can deliver all kinds of explosive dunks, but those gifts are much harder for ordinary players to replicate. His career also began with the Chosen One label and the entire league watching him from day one. In terms of broad relatability, Curry's path may feel more accessible to ordinary fans. That sense of relatability is something data cannot measure. Third, deep collaboration and a rich collection of exhibit material. This exhibition was jointly created by the Hall of Fame and Curry's 30 Inc. business team. Curry's team helped provide rare and exclusive materials from across his career, including pieces that trace his journey from an underestimated prospect to an NBA superstar. In addition, the exhibit will feature rare game-worn gear, championship artifacts, Olympic memorabilia, archival footage, and immersive audio and video storytelling. It explores his life as a basketball icon, entrepreneur, philanthropist, and family man. This kind of complete portrait carries far more emotional depth than a simple display of trophies. The curators are not just showing championship honors. They want to present the full life arc of someone who redefined shooting, expanded what smaller guards could become, and built a broader legacy as a role model. LeBron has not yet been the subject of a comparable Hall of Fame collaboration. This is not something one side can do alone. Without Curry's direct involvement, this special exhibit would not have been possible. Fourth, an off-court legacy that aligns with the Hall of Fame's values. As a sports museum, the Hall of Fame places enormous value on positive cultural role models. Curry is a one-team player. He has spent his entire career with one franchise. He has built a public image centered on family. He has continued to invest deeply in youth development, education, and community work. His business ventures emphasize purpose as well as profit, and he has largely avoided major off-court controversy. The exhibit explicitly goes beyond basketball to highlight his broader life and impact. That broader legacy clearly matters to the curatorial concept. Curry is one of the NBA's most widely admired global ambassadors. Overall, LeBron has more individual accolades, but his greatness is largely measured by how completely he mastered the traditional demands of the sport. Curry, however, carries the unique historical distinction of changing the sport itself. His influence altered shot selection, spacing, and player development across basketball. That is why the Hall of Fame is willing to break with tradition and create a dedicated exhibit for Curry while he is still active. This is not just a bold curatorial decision, it is also a declaration of values. This is a remarkable story of mutual recognition.